On today's show, we answer the burning question, why do we do what we do? What motivates us to do what we do? That question will be answered on today's episode of Back to Paranormal. Oh, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Back to Paranormal. My name is Brian Mitchell, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host,
Stop.
Marjorie. Hi, Marjorie. How you doing?
Thank you, Brian.
How are you doing? Oh, you're so pretty tonight.
You're so handsome, my love.
Thank you. I like that.
Good. Why do we do what we do?
Why do we do what we do? It's almost like that thing you do. Yeah, I need to go into that song maybe. I don't know.
Well, I think what you want to tell our listeners is what we respectively find so fulfilling about doing Back to Paranormal.
Yeah, what motivates us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we figured we'd do an episode about that. And, we're going to have a drink tonight. For once, we're going to do this. What are we drinking tonight?
Merlot.
Merlot. Okay, that was awfully entertaining. Okay, I'm gonna do the boop tonight.
Okay,
here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boop.
Dink.
That was pretty.
It was pretty. Okay, here we go.
I like these glasses.
They're nice glass. Here we go.
Ooh.
I have a straw. It's right at the bottom there.
This is what he finds so fulfilling about motivating, doing the show, and do what he do.
What he do,
Slurp and gulp and
gulp and vomit.
into the microphone.
The whole thing.
For your listening pleasure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So many people have asked us. We've had thousands of people ask us this question. And not just, people that listen to the show and email us, but people that we meet in public, and they'll say, what's your motivation for doing this show? Because a lot of people would not do a show like this. And so I'm going to ask you, what's your motivation for doing it?
To be with you.
Okay, good night, everybody. No,
I love doing this with you.
I love doing the show with you.
From the minute I met you, I knew that I was able to talk about these paranormal things with you without being ridiculed and without someone giving me the hairy eyeball.
Right.
And I just have always felt comfortable talking about things with you, like my faith, my spirituality, my conviction of alien visitation to our planet, and my certitude in the existence of Bigfoot.
Wow.
Okay, I sometimes get the hairy eyeball from him on that one, but whatever.
No, I think anything's possible.
I think, and also that everything is possible, and that I'm just delighted by the mysteries of our Earth, of our universe, and of the magnitude of what I believe the Lord in our lives. Mm-hmm. But I do think that one thing I find that is most fulfilling to me are the look. I love aliens. I love Bigfoot, but I think the thing that's most fulfilling to me is the discussions about like the life after the afterlife,
right,
and that the love of God is so infinite, and when loved ones go to that next place, they're still with us.
Yeah.
And so like, what would have been your favorite things? And
I think pretty much the same. I think that anything is possible. And there are some things that I feel that are really like kind of out there. And so, I have an opinion about that. But I think there is life after death. I think we go on. I think there is a consciousness that basically once you leave your body, whether you pass away or you do an astral projection, I think there's always this mind, this soul, and there are people that say, your soul is basically inhabiting a body, you know, and the body kind of moves. You're directing it to move through, your brain, and that kind of what makes the body move. But once the body dies, it's basically you're still you. And so I firmly believe that. And I've had experiences, we've talked about many of them on the show, where I feel like I've been contacted by somebody who's gone or some spirit. And so I definitely put that as number one. Aliens, I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in a lot of different things. It's just that a lot of them are not proven. And so that's part of what brings me to the show here, to do this, to want to do this, to be motivated to want to do it, because I think those things need to be explored. Mm-hmm. But I think the ultimate, for me, the ultimate motivation to do the show is the fact to let people know that, hey, these things have happened to me. I believe we move on, we do go on as a spirit. And I think that's an important thing to let people know, to give them hope. And to me, that's a big deal.
Well, I think that it gives people hope. But what I also think and this is most important to me, because this is how I choose to live, is it gives them courage, because then they can have the courage to love, the courage to wear your heart on your sleeve. What do you have to lose? The courage to really live this life while you have it, while this beautiful earth, while we've been given it. Yes, it gives hope, but hope is nothing without the courage to act on all those hopeful wishes.
Yeah.
And to take chances in life based on love and generosity and gesture, and just the magnitude of your own spirit, and to let it exist while it has the chance on earth and in this life.
Right.
Because you really don't have anything to lose, because you go on. And those are the messages that I really... So, like, I mean, some of my favorite episodes would obviously have been, speaking with Jennifer Ann, who gets contacted by spirit all the time, and speaking with the beautiful Diane Calderon, whose son is with her, even though he's gone from this earth. He's now in spirit, and talking about the after-death experience of individuals like Eben Alexander, and what he came back with such conviction
with
on.
This message.
And this message to spread to humanity. What a gift. And
there's a lot of things we don't know. There's a lot of things we don't know for sure. There's no concrete evidence of anything. And, when we talk about this stuff on the show, a lot of this stuff is very personal. It's basically things that, you were contacted by a loved one, that has passed, and that this happened to you. And I know there's people out there that are always going to be skeptics. They're going to look at this stuff and they're going to say, yeah, you're probably hitting the bottle too much or something, And but that is not me. And I consider myself very down to earth about a lot of different things. But I can't just toss aside things that have happened, especially if it's a shared experience with somebody else, and the thing actually happened. It happened, and I know it happened, and the other person knew it happened, and so there's just so much mystery in the world. And like I said, we don't know everything, but I do know that there is more to this than just every day going to work and driving home and getting your grogroceries, and
believing in coincidences and brushing things off
exactly
as coincidence, and just believing that anything is possible. And there's a beauty to that. I feel like it's good to be a skeptic. It's healthy and it's smart. But it's also good to be a believer, of being open Because
Yes.
if you really think about it, it's a heck of a lot harder for someone to prove me wrong in my beliefs than it is for me to prove myself right someday.
Right. Right.
You know?
And look, there's so many things that have happened to me over the years, and they definitely happened. I mean, and I know it, and you're never going to convince me otherwise. But I find it kind of sad when people just totally ignore all that and they say there is no God, there is no this, there is no that, there's no ghosts, whatever, there's no aliens, and it's to me that is part of the miracles of being alive, is to be open to everything and not to just totally disregard anything and everything that has happened like that. And sometimes these things come out of a place where maybe somebody has not had a good life, and they equate God as Santa, like Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny and stuff like that. And I can kind of understand that. I mean, depending on where you're coming from, but I think you also have to be open to the possibility of things really happening, that things that have happened, and not just to say, oh, well, that was because of something. It's because of coincidence, and then just kind of write it off as that. And I've often said that coincidence is kind of a throwaway word, because if something happened, all of a sudden you're thinking about some surprise coming in the mail, and then all of a sudden the doorbell rings, and you go to the door, and it's some present that you got, right? Or some mailing that came, and you open it up, and it's some real surprise, something totally out of the blue, and you go, well, that was just a coincidence. Well, that's a pretty good coincidence. That's I never believe in coincidences. That you think of something and then something happens and it's the same exact thing at that time. I just don't believe that that's.
I had a childhood friend, and we had.
You had one child?
No, well, pretty much.
No.
I have a very, very dear childhood friend. Her name is Amber. And
Hi, Amber.
Hi, Amber. I absolutely loved her. We grew up across the street from each other. We went to the same school, and we had a terrible falling out right about the age of 28, 29. Yeah. And I decided we're not cut from the same cloth. We really are just friends because we grew up across the street and we went to the same girls' school for years. We are not the same, and you're not a good friend. And I stopped speaking to her for a long time. And her family still lives right across the street from my family. Right. And there was a time in my mother's life when she was really unwell, and I had to take care of her. And I was running up to the store to get ice for the house. And I saw someone walking a beautiful dachshund. And I remembered Amber's dachshund that she had when we were growing up. Her dachshund's name was Sweet Pea. This dog looked so much like Sweet Pea. And I said, oh my gosh, I remember Sweet Pea. And then I said, as I'm walking up the hill to the store, we live in a very small neighborhood. And I said, oh my gosh, Amber. And then I said, I wish I could be friends with her again. I wish I hadn't been so harsh, draconian. Yeah. And then I thought about her mom, who still lives a few doors down from my mom. Right. And I said, I wish I could run into her. And then as I got closer to the door of the store, I said to myself, I want to bump into Alana, Amber's mom. The door opens to the store, and who has just walked in and gotten her shopping cart? Alana Frumkes.
Wow.
And I looked at her beautiful face, and I said, I just said a little prayer that I literally just said a little prayer that I would see you. And here you are.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to me, I wish you would call Amber.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to call Amber, but I don't know her phone number anymore. And so
Right.
she gave me the phone number. And we've been thick as thieves ever since.
Ever since.
Yeah. And it was all said and done. It was a chapter of our lives
That was just a coincidence.
yeah, that was just it. No,
Yeah.
I literally said a prayer
Yeah.
in my heart, and
Right.
then I was convinced that I was going to see her, and there she was.
There she was.
And I actually hadn't seen her in
20?
well, I hadn't seen Amber in almost about 20 years, but I hadn't seen her mother in about a decade.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. This stuff is real. No, it's real. And we have those coincidences all the time. We have and like I said, I hate to call them coincidences. What would you call it? What would you
I say that was a blessing because I
Yeah.
got my best friend back after all those years, and I learned my lesson, and I'll never do that again.
there needs to be either there's a word for it or there should be a new word for that type of encounter where you're thinking of somebody.
Fortune.
Is it no?
Okay, well, you think up the word if I keep getting it wrong.
No, I'm just trying to think of the word. I mean, there is a word for that. It's and you're not helping me.
No, I'm not, because I keep trying. I can't, I'm not a thesaurus, you know?
Yes, you are.
I am, actually.
Anyway, no, these things really do happen, and it's kind of like,
I mean, are you looking for a synonym for coincidence, like happy accident? Because that's just a synonym for coincidence.
It's not a happy
accident.
It's not a happy accident. It's an intentional thing. It's something that you had in your mind.
I wished for, and, and my wish came true.
Yeah, but it was an intention. You put out the intention, and it came back, and it manifested.
Yeah.
And I do believe that stuff happens. I think if wherever your mind goes, and if you feel it in your heart.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what's been taught. This is like Wayne Dyer. It's Neville Goddard. It's a lot of these they call them New Age thinking, but it actually goes back a bit. It actually goes back into the Bible. It's like ask, believe, receive. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that's missing there is you have to feel it. You have to feel it in your heart. And I think with something like that is so pure that you want to, you really felt it. You really felt it in your heart, that you wanted it to happen. And it happened. It manifested for you. So these are some of the things like, we talk about on the show, but, this is the motivations to do a show like this is to let people know that this stuff is real. It happens. And even if people don't totally believe it, at least to create the conversation, to talk about it. Mm-hmm. But I know in my heart that when you really believe in something like that, it somehow makes its way to you. I believe that. So.
Well, yeah, and I'm one of these people who've experienced a lot of personal tragedy and a lot of sorrow in my life. But my belief that God has always loved me and He has always protected me and been there for me is absolutely unflappable.
Right.
It's unwavering. I have never ever wavered from that. Mm-hmm. And when we talk to other people who have life experiences where they confirm that the love of God and how solid that is in their life and in their faith. Mm-hmm. It's like a pillar. It's another pillar, that you can build on, in life. But
right.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite episodes that
we've done?
Talking like to Heidi Steffens and.
I think, keep going back to Jennifer Ann.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because I think she gave us some real insight into this other world. Because of the time of year right now. Because last year we did an episode on Bigfoot, and we went up to Whitehall, New York, and we did the interviews with a lot of people that have had experiences, and I think that was a big eye opener for me. Because the sheriff there absolutely believed that, he was standing in front of a Bigfoot. This was when he was in his 30s, early 30s, I believe. I don't think, it might have been 20s.
Late 20s.
Late 20s, early 30s.
And here he is, like...
Yeah. And, I've always taken that stuff with like a grain of salt. But I never say that it couldn't happen. But here was the man who actually, he wrote a book on it, about his experience. He was a police officer, and he had a lot to lose by...
He was the sheriff of the town.
Yeah. He had a lot to lose by saying this.
Stake.
Yeah. And so, but he was a man of conviction, and he talked to us about it, and he was, you could see he was absolutely convinced. And I think that's one of the reasons why...
I love that guy, Brian Goslin.
Yeah.
I love talking to him.
Yeah,
so moving.
It was moving. The whole show was very moving to me because I just felt like we captured something that I don't know, maybe other people haven't captured, because with a lot of these Bigfoot shows, sometimes they, it feels like they're fishing.
When you see it on TV, you're always, the back of your mind is like, this is being sensationalized for the screen.
For the show, yeah.
But then when you go in for the show,
Yeah.
but when you go in person and you meet these people who have had these experiences,
Yeah.
and his emotion was utterly palpable.
It was.
I mean, he started crying. But, of course,
he was tearing up.
Yeah, I started crying.
Yeah.
Because I felt for him. I wanted to, hug him.
You're empathetic, You just... what's amazing about Marjorie is she just... With me, she knows how I'm feeling. I could put a big facade on and, play happy when things are not going good that day or whatever, and she'll just know. And she just is like that with just about everybody. She just has this inner sense of knowing. And it's, as much as I may hide something, she will just root it out. And it's pretty amazing. So I think you're like that with other people. I think you feel that. And I think it's pretty amazing. But anyway, getting back to...
Well, I love you.
I love you too. Thank you. No, I think getting back to the subject of this particular episode is we do this. The reason for doing this wasn't for money.
Yeah, we're not peddling any snake oil over here.
No.
We're just saying.
No, we're just drinking it. We're just drinking it. No. No. We do the show primarily to impart what we believe, and the show isn't perfect. Sometimes we have better episodes. Sometimes we don't have such great episodes. I hope they're still entertaining to some extent, But mainly the reason why we do it and the motivation to do it is just to say, hey, look, everything's a possibility. And you should open your mind more to think about these things and think of the possibilities. And I think there's just too many people that get dragged down in life, about life in general. And I think it's good to kind of take another view at it, another point of view. And it might open you up to some real possibilities. Does that make sense?
I do. I agree. And you say that often, Brian. You say, switch the thought.
Yeah.
How about you look at it this way?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And, I appreciate that.
I think it's important. I really believe it's important because...
And I also think
people get bogged. Well,
sorry.
Let me just finish the thought.
I beg your pardon.
No, that's okay. No, don't beg my.
I do.
No, I think it's really important for you to do that because we get bogged down with the day to day. Because we get up, we're on autopilot. We get up, make the coffee, you make your tea, you have your cereal, your bowl of Fruit Loops, whatever you're having. You get in your car, you drive to work. You're worried about work, or you're worried about some. Maybe you're not worried, you're just concerned. You're thinking about the day, whatever, and you go through the motions of the day, and then the focus is on getting home and having dinner, and then you turn on the TV, and the thing is that's not everybody's day, but for the most part that is everybody's day, and because of that you get locked into this. It's a rhythm, but it's also you get locked into the same thing happening every day.
The rut.
Yeah, the rat.
The rut.
Well, it could be the rat race.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to have rat later. It's delicious. Ratatouille, I'm sorry.
I made ratatouille for dinner.
You did. It's absolutely wonderful.
He calls it.
I don't want you. I call it the rat dinner.
It's fine.
No, it's absolutely delicious. She makes great ratatouille, but anyway, getting off that subject. I just think that we.
Bigfoot eats ratatouille.
Bigfoot eats ratatouille. She calls me Bigfoot. So anyway, I really believe that we get locked into this regimen every day, and it's limiting. It's limiting. It limits our thoughts. It limits our possibilities. It basically restricts us. It almost feels like you are being governed by your job. And only freedom you have is that weekend when you get off hopefully you get off on Friday, and then you do something on your own for the weekend. But a lot of times you are not thinking about changing your life or changing your perspective or anything like that. It's just like, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to get groceries. We're going to do shopping. We need new pants, and then all of a sudden Monday morning comes along and you're back into the routine again.
Yeah.
And I think that life offers so much more that we're really not getting into. And I think that's most people.
I think my motivation is that when a lot of people have beliefs in certain things, they believe this or they've experienced this or that is beyond what they deem to be the realm of possibility, and then they go and they try to share it with a loved one and they get shot down or laughed at, which has happened to me many, many, many times.
I'm sorry.
And it makes one feel lonely.
Yeah.
It's isolating because you're like, but no, I believe this. This happened and I experienced it and it was life altering and eye opening and or it was scary or this or that, and there's nowhere, to turn because a lot of people are closed off or they don't like the idea of mystery in the universe.
You're very pretty, by the way.
Thank you, my love.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, and an observation.
And it isolates them and makes them feel lonely. And I think that one nice byproduct of this show is that people have reached out to us and said, I believe these things, and I can hear that other people, and
it's not just me.
Yeah. Even one of my dearest friends, she's like, this is my new show because I wasn't raised to think these things are possible.
Yeah.
I was raised to think, oh, no.
Yeah, that's not life.
And
that's not real life.
Right. Yeah. That's you're making mountains out of molehill or whatever. And she says this is a comforting place for me. I sit in my car, I drive to my work, I listen to the show, and that makes me feel good. Even if it's just the one or two, people who have said, like, I need to know that there is something more, and there is.
We have a number of people who have told us that. and they've told us this
It's
show is good for my soul, and and that's really the reason why it exists, is because when I thought about doing the show, I said, "Would you be interested in doing it with me?"
And I was kind of scared at first.
Yeah, you were, because how are we going to do this? Whatever. I said, well, let's do a few, see how it goes, and then we've talked about this before, but but we've done them. We feel very comfortable doing them, and we try to be as open as possible doing these shows, right? Which is very, very important, and I hope people understand that. I hope people get that. Look, we try to joke around a little bit, try to lighten the subject a little bit. But ultimately, when we get down to it, when we start talking about things like this, it gets very serious. And sometimes, you're tearing up or I'm tearing up about stuff. And we're putting our heart out there, talking about this stuff. Because, in the real world, people really discount this type of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I have had full-fledged, absolute paranormal poltergeist experience evidence that happened in a room with my entire family.
Yeah.
And it happened, and everybody acknowledged it in that moment and
Right.
said, wow.
But afterwards.
And then afterwards, I'm the only person who said that happened. And they were like, oh, it was probably, that was, who knows what that was? I don't want to know what that was.
Yeah.
Or, and they all
it's almost like they
brushed it off.
Yeah, they don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
I equate that to.
But that's cowardice. It's to me.
I think you're
I'm like, we all saw this happen. It happened. You said it happened.
Right.
I'm okay. It doesn't scare me.
Right. Well, I think that's what happens. I think people are scared by it.
Well, they're cowards.
Well, I don't want to be that blunt about it, because there are people.
I apologize. Okay, we'll cut that part.
No, we'll leave it in. No. No. Well, I think in the case of some of the people that are part of your family, I think it's true. But it's the thing is that there's a show. And I'm going to plug the show because I think it's a good show. It's Sid Roth, and I think it's Supernatural. I think that's the name of the show. It's actually on YouTube. You can watch it. And so he goes, it's the show, they have the announcer come on. It's supernatural, like that. They come on with that. And then he starts talking. He says, it's natural, but it's also supernatural. Like,
right.
And so,
right.
And we say that all the time. Yeah, it's
normal, but
it's paranormal. So we say that all the time because it is normal. It is part of what makes up this place. Our experiences. It's all this stuff is normal, but people don't want to acknowledge it.
They just want to get back to normal.
They want to get back to their normal, and some people just can't accept it. They just can't. They don't want to accept it or whatever. And I think once you do accept it, then it makes the experience a little bit more richer, doesn't it?
I do believe it enriches.
Yeah.
It enriches your life. It lets you lift up your head and open your eyes and see
the possibilities.
And see all the possibilities
Yeah.
and accept that they are all out there. And if you believe in the love that God has for you, you will have the courage to say, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay, these things
these things do happen.
They do.
We should go into more episodes about the power of thought. We've had an episode on that. We're talking about different things, but your thoughts really do influence how your life is going to play out. And there are people that are basically, they have no hope, and they dwell in that environment, that there's no hope, they're depressed, they are They're sad. They don't think they can change their life. They feel like they're stuck where they are. And the thing is that when that happens, you end up going into a loop. And the loop is basically you keep telling yourself the same thing over and over again. Now, so just go with me on this, okay? So when that happens, okay, you are not going to motivate yourself to want to do anything. You're just going to accept where you are. And it's going to feed into itself, all right? I believe that if you are positive and you have a good attitude and you look at the possibilities, that basically you will pull yourself out of that negative place. And I think there's two parts to this. I think it's basically you will help pull yourself out of it because of your positive attitude, but I think things are attracted to you because of that positive attitude. And I think that's very important. But if you constantly think, like I said, if you're constantly thinking negative and things are not going to work out and things are going to be horrible and you're just basically nothing is going to be, or you're just going to attract the same stuff that you're thinking about. And that's really important to think the opposite way. Because there are people out there that really believe that that manifests, negative stuff manifests into negative things that happen to you. So even if we pulled that part out of it, it makes sense. If you, like I said, if you think negative, you're not going to want to be motivated. You're not going to try. You're going to keep yourself in that environment without the supernatural, without the law of attraction or whatever. But if you think positive and you keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, you are going to manifest the good stuff even without that. But I think there is an added thing that happens. I think synchronicities, I think that's the word I was looking for before, start happening. And I'm going to bring up something that happened to me about a year ago, which was basically, there was I'm an animator, and I've talked about this on the show before, but somebody contacted me about a show that I had directed.
Oh, yes, that's right.
30 years ago.
So
this
weird.
was crazy. And so anyway, they were asking, the show was not anywhere. It was not on YouTube. It was nowhere. It was a one-off special that we did, and they were trying to get it into a series. But anyway, I had worked on it basically 9 months out of that year. And we brought it out, and it went on Fox, and it was just like a one-off special. It didn't go anywhere. And so anyway, somebody was asking me about the show, and they said, I've heard about the show. I've been trying to see it. There's only like a clip online on YouTube. I'm looking to see the whole show. It's about a half an hour show. And so...
it was a Christmas special.
It was a Christmas special.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I had said to them, I said, I know one of the producers passed away, but I think the other producer is still around. And I said, I'll try to reach out. And so anyway, I didn't do anything about it. I was busy at the time with other things, but it was on my mind. And so about, I want to say 2 weeks later.
It was like 2 or maybe 3 weeks.
2 weeks.
Tops.
Not even.
This is so bizarre.
It's so bizarre. But anyway, it crossed my mind that I should reach out to these people. And,
It was on your to-do list. It was on your deck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, and I do another show, which is a Cartoonerific podcast, and it's about animated cartoons. But anyway, that producer ended up reaching out to me within a 2-week period.
He reached out to you.
Yes.
So interesting.
And he said, I was looking you up and I saw that you're doing this show. And he said, I listened to a couple of episodes, and he said, we should chat. And he gave me his phone number, and I ended up calling him, and then we did chat, and then we chatted again. And all of a sudden I was working on the same property again. professionally.
Redesigning the characters.
And so anyway, it was a really bizarre...
This is an animated Christmas special I have never even
knew about.
Heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so out there.
So out there, yeah. But the point is that this guy reached out to me 30 years after we had done it. Mm-hmm. And so that was really...
And
it was bizarre.
2 weeks after this random fan reached out to you.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating.
Yeah. And it's... and so I believe that this stuff happens. And it wasn't anything. It wasn't like I really, I gotta call this guy and stuff like that. It was not like that. It was just one person contacted me. It was in my mind. So I got to talk to them. I'm going to talk to them. But, I think the reality is you don't do it right away. You probably won't do it. But anyway, 2 weeks later, he's reaching out to me.
You were putting out the vibes.
Yeah. And so that's why I say that there's something there. Because, people will say it's a coincidence. And like I said, it's not a coincidence. I really believe that there's stuff there that does happen.
And by the way, you showed me the original Christmas special, and then you showed me your redesign of the characters. Oh my gosh, you knocked it out of the park. You did beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So it was good that you had that.
Yeah, we had that. Yeah. But that is my point, that there are things
the world of possibility will not open up to you unless you knock on the door.
Yeah, you got to, or somebody can help open that door for you. Mm-hmm. But these things do happen, and I believe I was contacted by my dad. I feel like I've had deja vu and dreams, where you know something is going to happen and then it happens. I mean, these fantastic things that people will say, oh, well, that's just a coincidence. And like I said, I don't believe in it. I think it is something that happens. It's a real thing, and I just can't put my finger on it why that happens. But it does. And you know it.
I do.
And I know it. And you know it too, everybody out there. You know it.
Our wonderful, faithful listeners.
Yes.
I had a premonition dream once.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did it come true?
It absolutely did.
Oh, was that the earthquake thing?
The earthquake.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Pietro's Cathedral of St. Francis of Assisi.
So you saw this in your dream, and then you saw this on TV.
I saw it in my dream before I had ever been there or learned about Pietro's frescoes, all of it. I didn't even know. I had never been there.
Yeah.
I hadn't left. I hadn't been to. It was too young to have gone yet to Europe.
Yeah, I've had.
I remember
dreams.
sitting at the breakfast table telling my family I had this horrible dream, and I described everything, and then.
A week later?
Years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, years later, I saw on the news, and I watched the footage of this cathedral collapsing on these people.
And it was basically like a deja vu
And it was like when the camera, when Alfred Hitchcock does the camera where it goes in a zoom thing, how
I had the same thing with a deja vu dream. Yeah, same thing.
And I was like shaking.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, it's jarring.
I dreamt that when I was 14.
It's jarring. No, these things happen. So anyway. Well, anyway, that is the reason why we decided to do this show, really, is because, and it was strong with me, that I wanted to let people know that stuff like this does happen. So that was kind of the motivator for the show. But then again, we talk about other things. Like, you're a big fan of Bigfoot. You'd go to.
I'm his number one fan.
You are. And so, we talk about that. And, recently we've been talking a lot about space aliens and stuff like that. And Man on the Moon and things like that. But I think...
my love for Bigfoot, my deep, deep, deep love for Bigfoot is not just rooted in my belief in possibilities and saying that is a possibility.
Right.
And my need to believe that the world and the universe is still so great, that there are still mysteries that are yet to unfold for us, and that excites me. But I also think that my love for Bigfoot is deeply rooted in my love for Chewbacca.
I think, yeah.
Because Chewbacca was the reason at such a young age I was able to get through Star Wars, because he was everything that I love about beautiful people. He was loving, he was brave, he stood up for his friends, he fought he put everything on the line because he believed in a cause, he loved his friends, he took care of people, and he was tough as hell.
And he looked like a dog.
That's been going off the whole
Oh, really?
time. Yeah, I thought I heard that.
There you go. Well, I think that's our clue to like wrap things up.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so what do we take away from this for our audience? Basically, we're here.
We love doing this show. You need to comment. You need to chime in. We really depend on you.
We do.
Ask us questions. Send us suggestions. Subscribe.
Right.
And we love you.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
and
as
if you
assertive as I'm going to get.
Hey, look, if you have an experience, if you have an experience with, the paranormal, and you want to convey it,
please.
Yeah, we have a basically we have a website, but we also have a Facebook page, and you convey it on there, and you can kind of, put an anonymous name there, and tell us your story.
Or put your real name.
Or send it to us directly. Maybe we'll want to talk with you on the show. How about that?
Oh, we welcome everybody to be a guest on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it would be cool, right?
I think so too.
Because I think the more information we get, it's just the collective of all that stuff just makes stronger evidence, right, that these things do happen. Not that you need to convince me. I'm already convinced. All right, but
as am I.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, we got some good stuff coming up ahead. So we hope you come back and listen to our blabbing.
Please stay tuned.
Yeah, please stay tuned.
And thanks for listening.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week on another episode of Back to Paranormal. Boo!
Scary.
Good night, everybody.
God bless.
Bless you.